All right, we want to start with that lake effect snow. It has been epic. Of course, it prompted the postponement or the change in schedule to the Buffalo Bills game. Meteorologist Mike Seidel is in West Seneca, New York right now, where the snow is coming down. Hey, Mike.
Hey, good afternoon. Good evening here from West Seneca. And yes, it's been adding up at 2 to 3 inches an hour. We're right in the band here. And I want to show you radar. This is like a summertime thunderstorm. Notice where it's snowing. And you just get a mile north or so. And it's like driving out of that heavy rainfall, but it's snowfall. Down here, we've had upwards of almost 2 feet of snow. We got one observation coming in from near Elm, New York. And that was 2 hours ago, 23.8 inches. So no doubt there now over 2 feet in the 2-foot club. Look at the visibility out here. It's actually come up now. We're probably about a quarter mile or so, but just a few minutes ago, we were down to basically a few hundred feet whiteout conditions. It is a very dry, fluffy, powdery snow, something we haven't seen a lot of in the previous 3 storms that we've covered. At Buffalo International, basically most airlines canceled every flight today. Just about every flight. 87% of departures were canceled. The snow is going to ease off tomorrow. There's still going to be a band around in the morning, but the winter storm warning, by the way, which is just for Erie, Wyoming, and Genesee counties, expires at 7 a.m. So if you get south of here, down across Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties, there's no warning because it's all about that band. And after it moves south through Buffalo this morning, airport gusted to 64 miles an hour around 10 a.m. It shifted here and has settled over this area for the rest of the afternoon. That's why the totals here are pushing 2 feet. You get up at the airport, and last time I checked, they'd had about 8 inches total. And remember, this time yesterday morning, about 6 to 7 o'clock, it was raining and temperatures were in the 40s. So everything has turned wintry out here. It's going to stay cold. 19 right now. The wind chill in Buffalo is down to 0. Still winds gusting at the airport 40 to 45 miles an hour. And even if it stops snowing, as we saw when we came in, the gusty winds is picking up this powdery snow and blowing it around. So you're getting these ground blizzards even if the snowfall backs off. So, Alex, quite the day here in western New York, and again in this very localized area, which does include Orchard Park. And we'll be back on the air tomorrow afternoon. We'll see if that band is over the stadium during the game or not. But last time I checked, they had a foot of snow there, so not as much as where we are. They're south of where we are here in West Seneca.
Yeah, they already have the crews out there, though, or the locals helping to clear the snow at high mark, so should be interesting. Mike Seidel, we're going to be checking in with you throughout the show. Let's look at the lake effect and where we've seen.
Once again, back here in the South Towns, West Seneca, New York. We're just south of Buffalo. I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel, and this is what you call your basic hammering. A lake effect band, a mega band, has set up over at central Erie County, and there's still that driving band in that part of the county north into the city of Buffalo. Snow has backed off. In fact, as we left, we saw the sunshine about an hour and a half ago, and then as you get down towards the areas near the New York State line, it's not snowing at all. Also, a ban for commercial traffic on the New York State Thruway from Rochester to the Pennsylvania line. Winds are gusting 35 to 40 miles an hour. It's now 17 at the airport in Buffalo. Just about everything was canceled in and out of there today. Check ahead tomorrow. The weather is going to get better tomorrow and Tuesday. There's still going to be a band around. We'll see how much snow is falling for the game tomorrow in Orchard Park, as the Bills and Steelers game was postponed from yesterday until Monday. So there you go. Actually postponed from noon today until tomorrow. Alex, been out so long, lost track of my days, but this is, boy, this is epic, isn't it? Powdery snow, 2 to 3 inches an hour. No thunder snow. We had that earlier at Buffalo this morning with that 64-mile-an-hour wind gust. But, boy, this stuff just adds up very, very fast.
It does. It piles up quickly. I remember my time in New York. You'd be amazed at, what a few hours will do when you walk outside. Mike Seidel, looks like you're in a snow globe.
The other football game tomorrow is in the region where our Mike Seidel is located. He's in West Seneca, New York, in between downtown Buffalo and Orchard Park. Wow, it is coming down, Mike.
It is, and it is snowing over at the stadium in Orchard Park. They're shoveling it basically continuously. They ask folks to come out, bring your shovel, and you can make $20 an hour. But it's going to snow there tonight. And again, tomorrow, probably there'll be some snow. We'll be out live tomorrow afternoon, maybe over in Orchard Park. Look at what kind of drifting we're getting here. Look at this. I mean, this is just, this is what happens. It's just dry, like powdered sugar, and these winds gusting 35 to 40 miles an hour at times, lowering the visibility down next to zero. Still the travel ban right here in central Erie County. Buffalo Airport today, just about everything was canceled in and out. Even when the snow stops, the winds create ground blizzards of the runways and taxiways. Meanwhile, down south, get ready for snow and ice. Parts of 11 states under winter storm warnings.
Our meteorologist Mike Seidel is in West Seneca, not too far from Buffalo. And Mike, that's what we think when we think Buffalo, Western New York, right? Those lake effect snow bands are kicking in a big way.
Yeah, this one big band it formed and moved south through the city this morning. The airport gusted to 64. Last night, they had thunder snow, heavy thunder snow. It was just a wild night there. And because of all the snow and wind, 87% of departures today, basically everything was canceled. 4 of the airlines I saw canceled everything. I can tell you, we got in on our Delta flight and they were getting some flights in and out. But with that said, check with the air carrier tomorrow. It'll still be snowing around the area tomorrow. But again, the winter storm warning for for Erie County, especially in the central area where we are in this band, Genesee and Wyoming counties to our east, wraps up right now at 7 a.m. Up on the Tug Hill Plateau, don't want to forget about you guys and gals. North of Syracuse, winter storm warnings up there until 1 p.m. tomorrow. So heading up I-81 from Syracuse up to Watertown, that could be a bit of a tough drive, like around Pulaski. Back here, it's all powder. Look, the visibility has come up to like a quarter of a mile or so. It has backed off a little bit, but I tell you can see on the radar where we are and how sharp that band is. We drove into that about 4 p.m. this afternoon, and it was like driving into a summertime thunderstorm. I mean, we went from nothing falling, and you could see the wall of snow just driving into it, and then the wind and just the visibility went down next to nothing. We've had about 2 feet of snow out here in this part of the county, and anywhere east and west of here, this is where the band is set up. Down in Orchard Park, the last time I checked, the last mid-afternoon was a foot of snow. They haven't been in the meatiest part of the band, but the game is tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. The Steelers and Bills, and they've been getting folks out there $20 an hour to shovel the snow. I think they probably do what most stadiums do. They throw it on the chutes and it goes down to the field. And this is really easy. This is not heart attack snow. This is very powdery. You can see it. It's fluffy. It's light. This is powder. Good to ski on, but very easy to blow around. Well, pan over here and look at the headlights and how the snow is blowing. And the wind's right now only gusting about 20, 25 miles an hour. So you get a sense of how little wind you need to get this drifting. Alex, just an amazing scene. The mesoscale processes going on. The lakes are unfrozen because it's been so mild. And you have the cold air over the lake, and you get this setup as long as the wind directions are about the same as you go up to 10 to 15 to 18,000 feet, and you get the band, and it's all based on wind direction. Right now, the favored direction is here and not into Buffalo, but earlier today, as I said, that band came down and now is just settled right in here to the south towns.
It is a very interesting place on many levels. I can confirm about the chutes at Highmark Stadium. I saw a social media video of a shirtless man actually riding down the chute, pushing the snow down with him.
I saw a shirtless man last night at the KC game.
Right.
When the wind chill was, 30 below zero. The guy was just, I mean, he had so much adrenaline and energy, being a Chiefs fan, but they had him up on the broadcast for probably half a minute, but no shirt, no shoes. But he got service, I understand.
Yeah. Well, I guess he watched the game, right? There's always going to be one shirtless guy. There's always somebody, right, who's going to go, I got to take off my shirt. This is the, cold times call for dramatic layers. But, yeah, I mean, that goes back to Buffalo, too. We expect a lot from their fans. You pointed out they're paying folks. I mean, how fun would that be? And especially when it's not heart attack snow, Mike. You get out there and you do your work for the Bills.
$20 an hour reminds me of when I was a kid. I'd pick up the empty Coke bottles, take them to the store and get a nickel. And that was a lot of money back, 50 plus years ago. A nickel will get you a candy bar. A nickel today will get you nothing.
Nothing. What will a nickel get you? I don't know, like one piece of candy at one of those like candy things. Would you do a live shot clearing the snow? Or is that just, are you like, you know what? Nah, somebody else can do it.
You mean out here?
No, would you go to Highmark Stadium? That's what we need you to do. We need to get you over to Highmark with all those folks clearing the snow.
I don't want to have to pay more income tax. I'd have
That's
to
true.
add that to estimate it, But I'll get the, you know what I'll do this evening with you and Dr. Nab, I'll get the snow shovel out and show you how easy it is to lift this up. It's very, very light, very, very light.
And then shovel it and show us how quickly it gets recovered, right?
Exactly. Look at the road out here. They just plowed this a few minutes ago. It looks like there's at least a half an inch or so. They just came by about 4 or 5 minutes ago. So you get an idea of how fast it's accumulating. It's not the heavy wet snow we had in Massachusetts or in Illinois or in Milwaukee the other day. This is bona fide powder, cold winter snow that I think we both love to cover more so than the heavy gloppy stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And you stay dry. And Mike, it's crazy to me how the visibility has shifted so much just within this 2 minutes of talking to you.
Has it increased or dropped off? It looks like it's dropped off a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was snowing harder at 20 after 5.
Yeah.
At 5:20, it was snowing harder than this, and we were down to maybe 300, maybe 200 feet, not even a football field. It's all a matter of when the wind picks up, boom, the visibility goes for, 5 or 6 seconds. And when you're driving, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, and speaking of the wind, when you turn around, your jacket does have like snow stuck to it from being in the. Yep, there we go. There's the wind. You can tell the wind direction on Mike Seidel's jacket. So you're looking great. You're doing great, Mike. We'll check back in with you. Thanks so much. So many visuals from Mike Seidel. I like it.
Good evening again from West Seneca, New York. I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel in the band. Yep, strike up the lake effect band. Check the radar now. We've got some changes. It has lightened up here. It's also drifting a little bit to the north, back towards the airport. They're at 3 miles. Nothing like earlier today when they were basically in a whiteout with wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. Also noticed snow coming back into the downtown, the city of Buffalo. So the band is oscillating now a little bit to the north, and it may do that, back and forth overnight. We don't think it's going to go all the way back up towards Niagara Falls, but we'll see how it shakes out with that wind direction. Temperature now 16, wind chills around 0, so it's a cold night. And cold considering how mild it has been, relatively speaking. Yesterday morning at the airport at sunrise, it was 43 and raining, and there wasn't a flake of snow anywhere. This is all fresh powder, and I'm talking powder. Walk over here to some of the drifts. Now these are, these are a couple feet. That's about it. This one's this one may get up to about almost 2.5 to 3 feet. Gives you an idea what happens when you get these winds. Now, the winds right now are only gusting 25 to 30 miles an hour, but with the powder of snow, it's easy to drift and blow around. So when you're out over the open highway, like the New York State Thruway, boy, the visibility can go to 0. In fact, the New York State Thruway has restrictions on commercial traffic from the Pennsylvania line all the way around to Rochester, and that includes 190. Here in central Erie County, they still have a travel ban in effect overnight tonight. We'll see if they lift that. They should lift that tomorrow. I would think so. It's all because of this ban. And there's that wind, Alex. Boy, just picking up the snow and making it feel very wintry out here in the south towns. And also snowing over at Orchard Park. The big game tomorrow, Steelers and Bills, postponed from yesterday until tomorrow afternoon. It may be snowing at the game, but I wouldn't suspect it would be like a whiteout. We'll see how that band that's forecast on the HER model sets up tomorrow. But I think tomorrow the snowfall rates are going to come down even though it is snowing.
I'm kind of glad that game's not on during the whole Weather Underground, because obviously nobody would watch our show because it is going to be really cool to watch. I mean, some of the videos, Mike and Dr. Nab, out of Highmark Stadium today, yesterday, were wild.
But nothing like we're getting in West Seneca, New York, near Buffalo, where our Mike Seidel is currently located. Mike, how tightly packed are the lines of constant snowfall amount? I mean, how far do you have to go to have an accumulation that's so different than where you're standing?
You just have to go 4 or 5 miles north of here. Earlier, you got out of the band, but now the band is becoming more fragmented, starting to drift a little north. We've got snow back at the airport, heavier snow back in the city of Buffalo. We'll talk more about that coming up. And we're going to show you how easy it is to shovel this stuff. And you don't even have to pay me $20 an hour like they're paying Bills fans over at Orchard Park before tomorrow's game. All that and more coming up, and more on the Southern Storm, the winter weather down south next.
And we've got Mike Seidel, who's live there in West Seneca, and he has been showing us some amazing pictures. But, Mike, it is amazing how, depending upon exactly what part of the Buffalo area you're in, could be a big difference on how much snow you're getting.
Yeah, just like a summertime thunderstorm, Dr. Nab. Look at the band right now. We'll go to the radar right away, and you'll notice if you're watching earlier, it's become more fragmented, and it's not quite as tight. But the snow now is back in at the airport. Not that it matters. About 90% of all flights were canceled today in and out of Buffalo, Niagara. Tomorrow, a much better day, although a lot of folks have been bumped, so there are not many seats for those of you who are trying to get on a flight now. And also the snow getting back into the city of Buffalo. Is the band is kind of oscillating up to the north. Temperature right now in the mid-teens, wind chills around 0. You'll notice here, if you were watching just an hour ago, it was a whiteout. But now things have lightened up. The visibility has improved dramatically. So just like a thunderstorm where you drive in it and out of it, it moves on, and then the rain stops, and you can turn the wipers off. Now, Alex, you talked about earlier, we talked about the consistency of the snow, and I sent out a stat earlier today. Marquette, Michigan yesterday had a record snowfall of 18 inches. But the ratio was 17-1. That means typically we talk about 10-1, 1 inch of liquid is 10 inches of snow. But when the temperatures come down into the teens and low 20s, the ratios go up. So you can get sometimes 25 or 30 inches of snow out of an inch of liquid. And what I want to show you is how easy it is to pick this up. Basically, it's just the weight of the shovel. It's very light stuff. And remember, when you have heavier wet snow, bend your knees, protect your back. But boy, look at this. So, Alex, you get the idea of how light and powdery the snow is, how easy it is to shovel and to blow, unlike what we've seen in the past 3 snowstorms. Most of it was a wet, heavy snowfall with temperatures in many spots, like when I was in Rockford, Illinois, about a week ago. The whole storm basically took place at 33 degrees.
Yeah, and that's rough because, 1, it's not necessarily fun to play in because you get all damp. 2, it's hard to clear. You mentioned it's the heart attack snow. I mean, it makes good snowballs, but even in some cases, like at 35, you just end up kind of with wet hands. So this is good. You know, you're not making snowballs with it, but you're having fun.
No snowballs, but you can kind of have fun. You can have fun in the drifts here. Look at this.
Yeah, you gonna dive in?
Look at this. This is the kind of stuff you want to ski on. Oh, my gosh.
It's like you're in a bathtub of powdered sugar.
Yeah, how sweet would that be, huh?
That'd be pretty amazing. I think about that sometimes. Yeah, I mean, and also I have a feeling that locals are going to start driving by here and being like, "You're hired, Mike. Would you like to come up? You made it look so easy. Do you want to come shovel my driveway?"
Let me tell you a quick story.
Hi.
Because of the travel ban, there's basically nothing open in Erie County. So we're considering tonight's dinner is going to come from the Sunoco station. So I got my eyes on this turkey sandwich.
Ooh.
So if someone wants me to shovel, I'll work for a hot meal. I'm being serious.
There you go. Actually, so if somebody's cooking up a good stew, a crock pot meal, you want to go pick up Mike Seidel, or you're nearby, just bring him over. He'll shovel the whole yard.
No. I'm not groveling or begging. I'm just being.
I grovel and beg.
Being lighthearted, but it is true. Because of the travel ban, like the hotel we're in, there's just one person in the whole hotel at the front desk because she is considered an essential employee. Nobody else came in, so she's cleaning our room. So we'll have a room tonight. She's checking people in, and so that's the situation today.
Yeah.
We didn't see really anything open at all today, anywhere in our travels between the Buffalo airport and here and around that area.
Yeah, it makes sense. Again, you don't want people out there, and again, with those really cold wind chill values, as Dr. Nab said, you slide off the road, then you're stuck in it. So, yeah, everybody's at home cooking something warm and, staying in their footsie pajamas. Mike Seidel, we'll check back in with you in a minute. Hopefully you packed your footsie pajamas. Oh. We lost him. Now that's a cliffhanger. I'm going to ask him, Dr. Nab, next segment, if he did.
2 things about Mike Seidel we've learned is that he is like Olympic caliber athlete now with that shovel, and he's probably loaded up with multiple layers of footsie pajamas.
And he's going to eat. See, I like how he's like, "Oh, I found a turkey sandwich. I would just raid the candy, like that whole candy."
I would not eat healthy either.
It would be a candy charcuterie board.
Yeah, but that's the excuse you can have during a winter storm.
You can. Calories don't count. You're keeping yourself warm. You're keeping yourself alive, people. All right, let's take a peek at how much snow we have seen thus far.
It is all about the wind direction and the lake temperatures. The lake is not frozen, so we have relatively warm water. and the cold air coming across it, this Arctic air, and we've got lake effect. Now, the band has become wider, more fragmented. Look at the radar right now. Just checked the Buffalo Niagara International Airport, where basically everything was canceled today. Our flight, our Delta flight, got in, but we weren't certain because when we left the Atlanta area, up here, it was a whiteout at the airport. Right now, there are half-a-mile visibility. Winds are gusting 30 miles an hour in moderate snow. So it's picked up back there. Here now, we're back to light snow, even though I know at night with TV lights it looks more impressive, but this is light snow. The visibility here is maybe about a mile or 3/4 of a mile. As far as temperatures go, they continue to fall through the mid-teens, lows tonight in the low teens. Highs tomorrow about 20 for the game with the Steelers in town to take on the Bills. That's the game that was canceled yesterday for safety reasons and moved to tomorrow at 4:30 in Orchard Park. Last check, they've had a foot of snow. That's the measurement from mid-afternoon. Our new top total, get this, Derby, New York. Hello, Derby, down there in southwestern Erie County between the Thruway and the lake. 27 inches of fresh powder. How about that? As far as the airport goes tomorrow, much better day. I think the last time I looked, about 15 cancellations. Today, as I mentioned, just about everything was canceled. So, Alex, improving tomorrow. There's still going to be snow showers around and maybe a thin band. And there's going to be flakes around all week with this cold air, but nothing like we've seen today and tonight in this area off the lakes here in central Erie County, where we were snowing at about 3 to 4 inches an hour.
All right, Mike Seidel, we thank you so much. Yeah, it's always intense, to say the least, there with that lake effect snow.
We are going to take one more look at what's going on in Buffalo, New York. Our Mike Seidel has been there all day. And Mike, I guess the one thing that's crossing my mind is when might people be able to get back out on the roads? And, you know, with the game tomorrow, I know a lot of people will be doing so.
Yes, indeed. And the thing about tomorrow is we're going to have some sunshine. It is going to be cold out. There's still going to be some snow around. And most of the impact was in a narrow area here in Erie, Genesee, and Wyoming counties. That band set up in this area. At the airport today, officially about 6 inches of snow. Out here, we've had upwards of 20 to 27 inches of snow. And it's a smaller area, which includes the stadium. And we'll be near the stadium tomorrow, more than likely with some snow showers around, as the Steelers take on the Bills at 4:30 Eastern in a wintry scene here in the south towns of Buffalo.